Hello everybody. In this video, we're going to learn how to do some side-by-side bar plots and stacked bar plots. So let me begin by just selecting this one row. Okay. I'm going to go to Insert and choose a 2D column. And the image that is actually popping out is it is showing me that the height of the bars is corresponding to commercial satellites delivered 0.1, value 100. Then commercial satellites delivered 1300, 1300 again, 1100 and 1400. So it's giving me the height of the bars corresponds to the different values here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go hover my cursor here and I'm actually going to drag it to the next row. You see how a second bar now automatically pops up and the height of this bar corresponds to the values that I see here with the second industry. So I can do 3, 4, 5. And it shows me all of these. So it's a side-by-side bar plot for the revenues of each of these industries in the 5 years. Now there's an easier way I could have done this. Delete this chart. I'm going to select all of this. Go to Insert. Look at recommended charts, and this looks like something that I want to have. So this is also very similar. It's called a clustered bar, clustered chart in Excel. A side by side is what's called a clustered bar. So I'm just going to do a vertical one. So let me click on this, and that is exactly what it's giving me. So I can make this a little bit bigger. Move it here now. So it looks pretty neat. So it gives me the revenues of all of these industries. So let me go ahead and start making some improvements to this. So the first thing I would fix is the title. So US space revenues 1992, 1994. Now let me add the y-axis. For that I'm going to add chart element, axis titles, primary vertical, revenues in thousands of USD. Okay. Now notice the x-axis is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is not what we want. We want the different years here. I'm going to click on this. So I come back to the chart and place my cursor on one and click. And you'll see that a box that highlights all of these x-axis values gets selected. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click. And okay, so I think instead of right clicking, what I'm going to do is just select that box again. Go to this select data button here on the top and click that. Ignore the rest of this window for now. I only want you to focus on the horizontal category axis labels. Okay, so look at this part and look at this empty space. I want you to click on this icon at the end of this empty space. So when I do that, so that's actually Excel's way of asking me to choose a range of cells in the data, in the spreadsheet. So let me click on that. And I'm going to choose the range which has all of these year values. So I'll click on that. And then I will select B2 and actually drag it up to from B2, I'll drag it to F2. And you'll see that they're all selected because there's this moving dashed line around the years. Now I come back to this select data source window and I'm just going to click on that icon again. Now Excel has now recorded where all my category x-axis labels are. I'll press OK. There you go. So Excel has automatically put all of these years in. And the legends, it's all carefully labeled and we're great to go. And you can add additional features if you want to add data labels, you can do that. You can put them in the center, but it looks very unwieldy here. So I'm going to remove data labels. And there's already a legend. I can choose where the legend gets placed. I can put it in the top right corner, or I can move it somewhere else. I can move it to the bottom. I can move it to, so I think this looks good for now. So I'm just going to leave it there. You can also change the layout of your graph here, check out the different options that are available and allow you to play around with that. So that's how you create a grouped, clustered bar plot or a grouped side-by-side bar plot. Now, if I want to create a stacked bar plot, I'm just going to do something very similar. Select this data, go to Insert, click on this column, choose the second option, which is a stacked bar. Okay, so let me click on that, and there I have it, which is a stacked bar chart showing the same information. Of course, I can go and make some edits here, so I'm just going to double click here, US space revenues 1990 to 1994. Then I can add y-axis title, revenues in thousands USD. And I do the same thing to actually fix the x-axis also. Click on this, go to select data, go to horizontal category axis labels, click on this, choose the cells with the years, click on that again, press OK. So there you go. So you have a stacked bar plot and a side-by-side bar plot. You can change the colors for these plots. So you have this option here on top which says change colors. You can look at, maybe I'll use a different set of colors for this. And you can also go individually and choose the different colors you want. There are different, so you can look at this and then say format data series, and then a tab opens on the side. You can choose what color you want it to fill it with, and so on. So I can give it, say, maroon, and it will change it there. So you can play around with these different values. So that's how you create bar plots and different types of bar plots. Now I also want to show you how to do a box plot. So I've moved to another tab where I have data on a series of numbers. Okay, so I have about 100 numbers here, and I want to create a box plot for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to select all this data. So the keyboard shortcut is Shift Control Down arrow. If you have a Mac, Shift Command Down arrow, it will select all the cells up to the point where it's encounters a break in value. So it will select all the 100 cells. Now come up, insert. Let's go to in all of these charts. Look at the second row, and you will see a type of options called statistical charts. Click on that. You have a histogram or a box and whisker plot. So click on box and whisker. That's the kind of chart you need. So I'm just going to increase the area of this. I have different layouts, so I could choose to have something which looks like this, or I could choose to have something which looks like that. I think the previous one was nice, so I'll choose that. I will give this a title, box plot. I don't need this axis title, so I'm going to click on this and just delete. And then I'm going to type axis title as values. It could be anything. Or maybe maybe I want to add the different data points that correspond to this minimum, first quartile, median, third quartile, and maximum. So I'll add data labels, come here and have them show to the right. So there we go. Okay, so I think that looks a little. Okay, so let me just change the type of this chart. Maybe I'll have it look like this. Okay, so I'll remove this x-axis bar. So let me just redo box plot. So I'll delete this entire chart, select all of this data again, go to insert, statistical, box and whisker plots. I'm going to choose the style of plot here. I click on this, I want this. So let me elongate that. Let me give it a title, which is just box plot. I don't need a legend, so I can go to chart elements and say no legend. I can add a vertical axis title, which just says values. Then I can add data labels to the right. So 1 is the minimum. This is the first quartile, median, third quartile, and max value. So that's how you generate a bar plot, and you can change the colors here as well. So I could choose to do different colors. I can maybe play around with this option. Then the other thing I want to show you, okay, let me move this chart a little up so that and the other thing is how to draw a scatter plot. So here I have a set of data where I show sales per 20 salespeople, and their two variables, their aptitude score and amount of commissions they make. So I want to draw a scatter plot showing the relationship between these two. I'm going to select those two columns. Go to insert, look at recommended charts. It's automatically suggesting the scatter plot. The other option is to go to this option here, which is XY scatter. Click on that, and it will tell you you can choose. Just click on that. So here the title is not very clear. So always the first column will be your X values, and the second column will be the Y values. So let me name the different columns. So this will be aptitude score. Then I have another vertical column, which is commissions in thousands USD. Then the title is actually relationship between aptitude score and commissions of salespersons. Okay, that's it. And that's how we draw a scatter plot. You can again change the layout, see how you want it to be laid out. If I press on this, it will look like a different type of scatter plot. I can undo that. I can choose different colors to use here. Maybe I want them on green. So you have different options to test here. So that's how you do a scatter plot. In the next video, I'll show you how to draw a histogram in Excel. That's a little bit more challenging, but I'll see you in the next video with that.